Hello people on the internet. Not too long ago I made a video called My Thoughts on the Luigi's Mansion 3DS Remake, and yeah, my most disliked video to date. Yeah, I don't get very many views. It would take an actual miracle at this point for this channel to go anywhere, but that's not my point. I'm not entirely sure why that's my most disliked video. Pretty sure I've made far worse videos in the past, but whatever. My best guess is that I didn't explain things well enough and didn't spend enough time on the actual subject. I kind of went off subject, talked about the Mario and Luigi remake and Smash Brothers. This time I'm gonna be talking about strictly Luigi's Mansion remake on the 3DS, what I think, comparing it to the original, and basically just explaining a few things that I didn't before. Upon further analysis of the trailer, there are a few things I noticed and even a few nitpicks I have. So let's get down to it. For starters, the character design. Now, in case I didn't make it obvious, it has been a very long time since I played the original GameCube version of Luigi's Mansion, and a lot of things have slipped my mind since then. So when I first saw the trailer for the 3DS version of Luigi's Mansion, it looked pretty much the same from what I could remember. However, side-by-side comparisons and further analysis of the trailer have told me that I was horribly wrong. So yeah. And I feel like a lot of things that gave the original its charm are absent from the 3DS version so far. Now, there are some things that could change, but I can imagine with the 3DS version they had to cut a lot of corners. Luigi's character design in the original Luigi's Mansion was very unique and very expressive. It was part of what gave the game its charm. Luigi was almost as expressive as Wind Waker Link, whereas in the 3DS version, Luigi looks a bit generic. This is more or less the same character design they used in Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, which there it was fine. It was a new Luigi's Mansion game for a new generation, and it didn't play exactly like the original, so I wouldn't imagine everything would be exactly the same. But we're talking about a remake of the original Luigi's Mansion here, and I can imagine purists who want a true-to-form remake of the original are going to be incredibly disappointed just by how many visual changes they had to make to this game. Some lighting effects have been changed as well, which kind of take away from the atmosphere of the original, which I could also see some finding disappointing. There are also some floor designs and minor details that have been changed as well, but that doesn't bother me all that much, except when my OCD kicks in. Then it drives me fucking insane. Now, a lot of the cut corners and changes that they made for better or for worse all has to do with this being a 3DS remake. Despite what I said before, this being a Nintendo Switch remake probably would have meant they wouldn't have had to cut nearly as many corners, and they could have gone all out with this remake and make it probably one of the best remakes to date. Whereas being on the 3DS, it's probably going to be one of the most disappointing. Now, in my last video, I might have sounded like I was dissing the Nintendo Switch or like I don't intend to buy one, which that's not the case at all. I've actually had a hands-on experience with one playing a Super Mario Odyssey demo at GameStop, and I like the look and feel of everything. It seems to be a really nice console so far, and I'd like to have my hands on one. It's just not really within my budget at the moment. I mean, look at my subscriber count. Do you think I'm making any money off this fucking channel? And also, my current job pays like jack shit, so that's also why my videos are low quality garbage. Of course, I'm not dissing the 3DS either. As long as the game still plays closely enough to the original, I'll be fine. The game was fun. All those things that gave the game its charm that are probably gonna be missing from this 3DS remake, that's mainly just nitpicks. I'm fine. Solid gold. I'm just saying that a Switch remake would have opened up a lot more possibilities. But I'm at the very least glad the game's gonna be on a system that I currently have. Assuming it's not a new 3DS exclusive. Fucking assholes. There goes Fire Emblem Warriors, but I digress. Either way, I am just fine with Luigi's Mansion being on the 3DS. I do think that maybe it would be better if at least it was a dual release. Maybe it was on both. Maybe like the Switch version would be technically superior to the Switch version, but the 3DS version would just be for those who don't have a Switch yet, like myself. But whatever. I hope that maybe I did a better job of explaining myself. Maybe, you know, why the previous video didn't turn out so well. I hope that maybe, just maybe, you people can actually see where I'm coming from now. If not, feel free to dislike this video to hell and back. I honestly don't give a shit. You do whatever you want. That's up to you. That is fucking up to you. You know, I'll just fucking live in poverty forever, you know? I'm okay with that. I'm fine. I don't fucking care. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go sit in a corner and dwell on my mortality and mope about how fucking pointless everything is. Good night. Forget that other guy. This channel is the worst.